Hey guys, welcome back to another video in this series I've been doing. This will be going over the first 3 perks in the utility category, which are the mobility perk, the backpack perk, and the builder perk. For this first game we're going to be using the mobility perk, which grants you speed 2 upon landing when you're gliding in the air. This could be landing from respawning, this could be landing from hitting a launch pad, or just any way you can get in the air and glide. It helps you a little bit in certain situations. When you're landing, it gives you a boost in speed, which is great for PvP, but other than that scenario, this perk does not grant you any advantages. So my tip for you would be get good stuff and then hit as many launch pads as you can and start landing on people. And that will give you a better chance of winning in any PvP arrangement because you'll have extra speed, and unlike Scout, you won't have any damage negation, so really no negatives. I have not encountered anyone who uses this ability to its maximum potential because there aren't actually that many launch pads around. A simple buff and a simple way to change the game to make this perk a lot more useful than it is right now is to just add a lot more launch pads, because right now there are no purple launch pads anywhere near a lot of these locations. Take for example Western. This is the town I'm in right now and it has no launch pads near it at all. The closest one is in the mountains with the rope bridges connecting each mountaintop, but other than that there aren't any close launch pads, and even that one is quite a fair distance away. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this perk. To get its full use you need to be decent at the game, and it is one of the first perks in the category, so I don't really see it being useful to new players who don't really know the map all that well, but skilled players who can utilize all the launch pads that are available might have a field day when using this perk. Other than that specific situation, there isn't really anything else. If you're in the final zone, you can't really get any launch pads and you can't get in the air. The only time you do get in the air in the final zone is when you're respawning in. And as you can see behind you, it kind of helped me in that situation, but either way I probably killed them because they had a health disadvantage. If I were to change this perk at all, I would make it give you like an extra 2, maybe even 3 seconds of speed, and add a few extra launch pads around the map, because right now there aren't any launch pads in some of the main locations. If I were to give any suggestions, I would make it so that there's one in Western Town because it's quite a popular place to go and there's a lot of people there and it'd be great for transitioning. But other than that, I wouldn't make any changes. It seems pretty balanced right now. For the second game, I'm going to be using the backpack perk, and as you can see in my inventory right now, I am keeping the backpack item not equipped so I can sell it for time. This is a strategy I would advise picking up if you are using the backpack perk. Maybe equip 1 because, you know, extra inventory room is always good. But since you already have 4 slots of inventory, there isn't really much more you need. My advice would be grab everything that could be even semi-useful. If you see a wooden sword that is just laying around and you only have, say, like an iron or even a diamond, even if you can't upgrade it right now, if you find another wooden sword and then another one and then another one, eventually you'll have the ability to upgrade your sword. It's a very good looting tool. Instead of making it necessary for item management, you can just pick up everything and not have to worry about anything not fitting in your inventory for the most part. In my first video I ever made, it was a tier list for all the perks in Chronos, and I put the backpack perk at the top of the list, because at the time I wasn't very good at inventory management and people weren't good at getting loot all the time, so the majority of the time I was the only person with gold armor, and I thought that was because of the backpack, but it was just a combination of me being bad at looting and people being new to the game. Now, with the backpack item, this perk has gotten a lot worse than it used to be. Maybe if they remove the backpack item, which I do not suggest, it's a very drastic measure, but if they did remove the backpack item, which I don't think they should, the backpack perk would get a lot more usage and be one of the leading perks again. But their addition of the backpack item has made it quite balanced in my opinion. If I were to do anything, I would maybe give it an extra slot in your inventory, but it's pretty balanced right now. I can't see them making too big changes. Next on the list is the builder perk, which I originally thought was a really bad perk, but I figured out a strategy to do at the end of the game, where if you pillar up and bridge out on the edge of the storm, then nobody can get your pillar and break it with their fists unless they want to go into the corruption and waste time or even waste health. It's a very neat strategy, which needs a lot of factors to go right, which is the only downside, because you need blocks, you need time, you need the perk actually equipped, because it doesn't help you at all get to that point. If I were to make any changes, I would make it so that you got a continuous supply of blocks, say like 5 blocks every 10 seconds. This might make it a lot easier for people to save inventory space. Instead of needing to devote 2 or 3 slots to blocks, they can devote 1 slot that is continuously regenning and has a constant supply of blocks. That would make this perk really good, because you can't break with snowballs, and if you have a constant supply of them, you can't run out either. Other than the situation at the end of the game, it's not really useful at all, because people still can break it with their fists. And a lot of people still don't even carry snowballs on them, so you could probably even do the strategy without the perk equipped, because people don't normally carry snowballs. It's a weird perk that I think needs to be changed, but at the moment it's balanced, maybe even a bit underpowered, so the addition of making it a constant supply of blocks in your inventory is a change that I think should take place and would make this perk viable. Even with me doing the strategy, which I didn't really need to do, the guy had no time and worse stuff than me and wasn't really that good at PvP, so I could have just jumped down and killed him anyway. But say you were actually fighting a person who knew what they were doing and was good at PvP, this could be a really good strategy for new players to get ahead of the game and have a slight advantage over people who are more skilled or anything. But even then, they need to have less time than you, and if they're good at the game, they probably will always have more time than you, so this strategy still wouldn't work out in that situation. I think that the regenerative block is the only way to make this perk even viable at the moment, because right now it feels really underpowered. The game's pretty much about over. The guy dies by storm, and I didn't really have much to say about these perks. They were all pretty intuitive, so this video was kind of short. If you want to see the next video, I'll be posting that next week. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and comment down below what you want to see next. If you want to see some building tutorials, me playing some different games, or playing some different servers, anything you want to see, I'll read the comments and I'll see what I can do next. See you guys later, and hopefully you enjoyed. Adios.